Hey everyone, welcome back to Simple Budget, Great Results. My name is Reed. Today I'm going to talk about a brand new spreadsheet I've created that's all designed to help you track your net worth and your net cash on a monthly basis. It's available over in the Etsy marketplace, and I'll put a link, of course, down in descriptions. So this spreadsheet is part of the 6 basics, 6 critical things that everybody needs to track on a regular basis: income, debts, monthly budget, net worth, net cash, and of course, long-term projections. Knowing your net worth is a critical part of your financial health, and I'm really excited because I think this spreadsheet helps you tackle that in a whole new way by separating net cash from your net worth. Net worth is all about your longer term investments, assets minus liabilities. Pretty straightforward. Net cash, on the other hand, is all about your short-term cash flow position. So it's typically all of your cash, your working cash accounts, less your working credit card accounts, things that you pay off every month. Why does this matter? Well, when you actually include your net cash inside your net worth, you can unintentionally hide some very important signals. So your net cash number should stay relatively flat from month to month. And so if you suddenly see your net cash going up, well, that means you have more money to invest. If you see your net cash going down, well, that means you're probably not adhering to your budget and you're spending a little too much. So keeping net cash separate from your net worth is actually a very important strategy to make sure that you're staying true to what your goals are. All right, well, let's take a look at the spreadsheet itself. So first thing you want to do is you want to take the template and load it into your own Google Docs by clicking on Use Template. Then you can look at the README file. It shows you how to do everything in here. And then, of course, there's also a sample spreadsheet with data already populated so you can get an idea of how it works together. So then the first thing you want to do is you want to actually duplicate this particular one so that now you're working on something which is just for you in 2023. Then we start filling it out. So this is cash. You'll see I've got checking and Venmo and some actual cash. And I'll go ahead and start putting in numbers here. As soon as I start putting in numbers, you can see the spreadsheet start to work. So now this is net cash, and so I'm also now doing my credit card balances. And you can see then that starts to take away from the positive for your net cash value. So now we're going to work in assets, which is part of net worth. I'm going to record emergency fund, some sinking funds, and then of course I've got a couple of savings accounts in here. And you can see that it's starting to add up all of these assets for you as you go ahead and enter them in here. Now investments are pretty straightforward. So for example, here's an employer 401k. Maybe you have a SEP IRA if you're self-employed, and you can go ahead and put that in here. Or maybe you've got a brokerage account of some kind that you want to put in. All of that stuff is totally fine. Now, the value on those is pretty easy to calculate. But when you get into real estate, the values are a little bit more difficult. So I actually go ahead and use Zillow's Zestimate. Not everybody loves it, but it's been good enough for me for quite a while. So go ahead and put the Zestimate value in if that works for you. And then, of course, any other assets you might have, like a car, for example, are perfect. You can go ahead and add those in there. And once we're done with these, we're going to get on and we're going to start talking about liabilities. Now, I was bitten by Discover cards when I was younger, so Discover is always my example of a long-term debt that I put in that I'd rather not have. Student loans, of course, might be in there for several people, so you can go ahead and track those. And then, of course, you got a number of other debts like a mortgage, that kind of thing. Now, if you also have a personal line of credit, maybe you used it to buy some appliances or something like that, that's a good thing to put down here in other liabilities, and you can see I've done that here in just a second. Now, as soon as we start putting all these in, it starts calculating our net worth for us. And you can see that as you go all the way up here to the top. But what's actually more interesting is as you start putting a whole lot more data in, you can see that the spreadsheet becomes actually pretty animated pretty quickly. So we'll go ahead and we'll fill out February for assets and liabilities. And if we go back to the top, you'll see that things are starting to happen. And then we'll start to fill in March, and we're going to jump ahead just a little bit here so you can see everything. And at the end, as you have quite a bit of data in here, you can go in and you can look at the top and track your net worth in a pretty nice, easy to manage fashion. All right, well, that's the new spreadsheet to help you track your net worth and your net cash, and it's available today over in the Etsy marketplace. And again, there's a link down in descriptions. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video if you learned something, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in comments. Thanks very much for watching.